Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Delightful Creations. I'm Amber, and today we're going to go over my Junk Journal January journal that I used for 2025. I had intended to make this journal really flat and play with everything being really flat, but it turns out that I really like it being interactive, and I didn't really pay attention and know that about myself, so I did learn that this year by playing in this little tiny journal. So we're going to hop right into it. Day one was cover. And I'm very happy with this cover. We're going to finish it off at the end of this video. I want to add two more things to it that really brings everything together, I think. So on the first page here, I went wild for me, and I splattered some not watercolor, I splattered my Tim Holtz red distressed ink on here. Got it wet and just flicked it on there. And then I made this flip down envelope, and this is made out of vellum, and I did do some stamping on the vellum. And I did not peek ahead at the different prompts through the day. I was just focused on what prompt it was for the day. Got a same piece over here as a tuck spot. And I did a collage on the back of that. And this is day 2. The 2 is marked with friends. Day 3, obviously day 3 here. The 4 on this one's a little tricky, but it's the 4 dots in my button. And then from this point forward, I use numbers for every day. This just has a hidden little, kind of hidden, little tuck spot here with the punch. I just love that. And this is where I started signifying that, okay, I'm going to add roses. So there is a poppy here, but there's a rose on the stamp there. And then there's roses in this Bow Bunny paper. And that is a theme. Here's the rose napkin. That it was already chosen for me, basically. And then we've got the poppies here. I think I've shown you this much on camera, at least. And this is a little ruffle that I made. This day here was embossed, and I chose to do wood, and I added some gold metallic paint. I also took the paint and I put it on this journal card that is just a piece of Bow Bunny paper. Really fun and easy. And then we have Sir Mister over here, and he was on January 7th, which was funny because the Tim Holtz washi tape or fabric tape is that. And I folded this all wonky. That's something that I've never done, but I like the way it looks. I just glued them on a piece of grungy cut off from a piece of music paper. And then I have a Tim Holtz journal card tucked into this space with a little bit of tissue paper behind here with a ripped pocket. So just having a lot of fun experimenting with different ways to put stuff and present it. I just like that. I think that's fun. This was really, really cute. So this is Bow Bunny paper. This was from a book that I've been saving for a long time. A Pretty Way to Solve a Problem. And this rose comes out of there. So that is just a fun little element. I thought you could do some journaling on the rose if you wanted, or save it and put it on the journal somewhere. But I think I'm just going to leave it in there just like this. So this is day 8. I made it so you would see day 8. Day 9 is hidden. And I just used this and turned it into a pocket for a little journal card here. And it opens up and it folds down. You can journal inside there. And there's a 9. There's a 9 wrote on here. And you can see the red splatter. So this red splatter was a little bit bolder because it was watercolor paint. And I was like, ooh! So I covered it up. It was a little much for me at that point. Now you will see watercolor splatter again, where I did not cover it up here. Once I get a little braver and I fully work into this journal. This day was trim, and I made an upper tuck, but it looks like interesting on the page here, this grungy background, pinks, and it just has this journal card that has 10 marked on there. Again with the roses, so you're going to see roses throughout this journal as well, which is really fun. I really think that I like red now. I really think I've come to the red side, Candy. I think that's the thing. This is a magazine day, and this picture came out of a needlepoint magazine that the lovely Candy has been so kind to share with me. And I turned it into a little pocket with a tag, and this is a little scrap from the Bow Bunny paper, and then this is a die cut with some envelopes. And then this upper one here came from the same magazine, and inside of this frame it was an advertisement for something, and I just took my punch that just happened to be a 1.5 inch circle, and I punched that Tim Holtz paper out, and it fit there perfect. And that was a simple day, and that's on the back or on top of a gel print, which did not go with this journal. This green is the only time you're going to see it is right here. This page was really fun. So this is an over the page. This is called overlap. So this is my overlap. This is overlapping. I got a little cluster here. There's a journal card inside of there, and I did some inking. And then this is journal space, but I made it so it opens up so you have even more journal space, which is hilarious because I'm not journaling in this journal, but I thought that would be fun. And then this comes out as well. So it's a belly band in the back. Big, large journal card. This is watercolor on the opposite side, and I didn't like that it was all white. So that's why I made this big giant journal card to go back behind there and kind of cover that up. And you could, I could have inked around it a little more. So that was really fun. And this is day 11. Day 12 is marked back here, and I just wrote it on there. Day 12 on my envelope. And day 13, again with some stickers. I have a rose die cut here, and I turned it into a tuck spot. And I put XOXO in there because now we're kind of seeing within the lady, she was having tea, and now we're kind of going into a love theme with Sir Mr. there is what I was going for. This is a piece of Tim Holtz paper. This is from like the industrial one. This pocket, or this page, was opaque, and so you can't see any of the background except for this dark watercolor red here from the previous page. And so that's the only part of that page you can see. And I stuck a book page on here, and I did some collaging down here. And then it came into balance. And so this page was so full, I wanted this page to be empty. And so this, I added, after I did the page, I left it just a coffee dyed page here, and it has a little bit of a stencil, and it's very neutral, and it has a quote here. But I really liked this neutral little envelope, and I didn't even tuck anything in there. I think this is an Artie Mays digital, but I just like the way that it looked on the page, but I didn't want to glue it down because, again, I don't want to cover up that journal space. So I'll just leave that off. And then we'll come over here. So this removed, we have 3 different interactive pockets here. And so then you can see 15. This is day 15. This is 14. There's no 14 marked on there. That's just very interesting. Maybe I'll add it to this flap. Yeah, we'll just add it to the flap right now because it's a separate day. So I'm going to add 14 right here. There we go. And these all come out. So I have a little ticket here. Maybe this is where they went on their little date. Little Sir Mr. This piece here slides out of there. So it looks like it's like a belt buckle type of thing. No, I can't get it back in there. And then this piece slides out over here. So I tried to use up a lot of different elements of Tim Holtz, and I cannot remember what day 15 is. Oh, neutral. Okay, neutral. Thank you. This one's fold. So this was in my page here, this little flap, and I added some washi tape on the back of it. But this side has the pretty rose paper, and I made it fold, flip open, and then this photograph is Tim Holtz as well, and it just holds my flap shut. And I put the 16 down here with a book page. So I wasn't feeling very creative that day, but I did use some red thread, which made that bold statement there. And I liked that it got bunched out of the machine, but I liked these gentlemen are sitting over here on this side. They just look so handsome. This day was fragile. I struggled with this. So it was already fragile because it's a dictionary page, just so happened to be, right? And then I made a doily pocket, and it has a tea bag. How fun is that? A tea bag pull out with just this little pocket that I turned it into, and then it has a piece of scrap paper for journaling. I have a part of a doily curtain there up in the corner. I think it's a rose-ish flower. And then on my doily pocket down here, I turned this into a little tuck with the scrap of Tim Holtz there, and I stamped 17 on there, or stenciled, I should say, rather. So fun there. Ooh, I love this. So this is the belly band pocket thingy here. This is day 18. You can see on there. This is a paint chip card. I did back it. It does match the paper here. It's a very busy page. I don't know the prompt. Let's have a peek. Day 18. Bright. Oh, that should have been my first clue. With this hot pinkish color. It's the only time you're going to see pink in here is right here. And then I had this sweet little tag here with the butterfly, and I love that. So I added it to be kind of more of a focal point on this page. And then this is the same wallpaper that is on the cover. I had a very small bit, and I wanted to use it all. I made a little journal card here with the rose sticker. This is the center of my signature. It's very bright. And then we have a big pocket back here that we fold out, and it's got just a journal space there on dictionary page. So fun. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love this journal. I just love it. This is a flip over belly band, and it's got a label down here. This day was bubble. And so I took the watercolor, and that's what I'm saying. You'll see it again. And I used the end of the paint, the bottom of the paint, the acrylic paint tubes, and I just punched it in. I mean, I didn't punch it, but I placed it gently. And then I used the end of the paintbrush to get these little bubbles. And then I made this a tuck spot here. And then this is a tuck spot for this tag here. This tag does come out, or it did before I glued it in there maybe. But there it is. This is Happiness with Crafting. This is a G Kerr. I just thought it would be fun to have that look pretty on that side and then still have some kind of meaning over here on this side. So my date is here, January 19th. Ooh, I love this. So this is a ruffle. And this was a digital image that I printed out and I added some cheesecloth to, and that's it. That's all I did to that. With some more of this red watercolor splatter because I ended up leaving this downstairs and I had watercolors upstairs. So I switched from ink to watercolor, and I have a rose here, a ticket, and then a stamp. The stamps carried throughout the journal as well. That is another theme that I took and carried with me. This was day 20. So that was really fun. And then you guys watched me do this one on camera. So we have the flip down for writing space. We have the pocket here with the Tim Holtz. Of course, I typewritered the date on there. Little birdie. And then the big giant pocket back here. And I love that this sticks out with cameras on it. I love that the red ribbon sticks out of the top of the journal. Okay. I didn't intend for this video to be so long, but I wanted to share everything I worked so hard on. Another page that, this was repeat. I believe 22 day was repeat. Yep. So I just kind of repeated the same pattern with the ripped doily page. But this is where they're meeting. So this is my Mr. and Miss. They're meeting, right? And they're talking and they're finally get to be together. So you'll have seen, I kind of made it, they're corresponding. You know, maybe he's sending her roses. I don't know. Just trying to make up a little love story to go with it because we're headed into Valentine's Day. And I was feeling very inspired by the images of adding people for the first time ever to a journal. That was very fun. Again, with the red and some of these different techniques. I love this here. This is an envelope, obviously, window envelope, and this is a magazine photo, and I just simply added some lace to the top on coffee dyed paper, and that is all I did. I was going to add red thread up here, and I never did. Go back and sew, so I'll probably do that. And then I didn't like the inside of this envelope being so white, so I grunged it up, and I added some more stenciling, because you did see some of that stenciling on other pages. And this is day 23 right there. So that tucks down in there. There's a 5-cent ticket here. This again with this green jelly plate. That page I struggled with really bad. And this comes out. So this is my day 24. And it's a little tuck spot. And then I have a tag here and a Tim Holtz, or this is Bow Bunny paper, I believe, Bow Bunny paper. And I just have an embossed piece of scrap, and I added a lace and sewed it and left it on there and made it a little ripped pocket. Super simple. And then added a sticker down here that said joy. Just feeling joyful that day. That was my mom's birthday. And then day 25 is Enjoy the Little Things. This one, I struggled with this. This is a book page up here. And I added the washi tape to the bottom. This is 25th right here. And then I added the cluster. Well, I added the tissue paper on top of the book page and the cluster, and I had to add the butterfly. It just felt really disconnected between this cluster and this washi tape. And then I just made this little tag here out of some scrap paper that I've coffee dyed, and I've had in my stash forever. And I fully used digital. So this page here is modern. This was modern. So my modern take on it was using digitals to make them look old. And that's what I did. And this is obviously modern Tim Holtz paper. This is scrapbook paper made to look old. But yeah. And this is a cutout from a Joann's paper pad that was all white at one time. Yeah, and then I wanted to use the rest of that embossed paper, so I thought, why not put it over here with, again, another Sir Mister. And this was day 26. And this kind of is a sad day because he's leaving. He's leaving. He's got to go run some errands. That's what I decided. So I decided to just kind of have him just be there. And then I didn't like the edge of this being empty, so I added some cheesecloth to it. And I really like the way it feels now. I love that. So fun. This one was crumpled, and I took a piece of dictionary page and I crumpled it all up, and it basically turned it to like really soft fabric. It feels like a napkin now, and I almost wish that I didn't glue it down to the page because it feels really good. And then a Tim Holtz here that I had to trim down. I had to lose a little bit to make it fit in there, but I'm happy with it. And I just did some collaging on top of it. And then this page I'm really proud of. Yay, I'm so proud of this page. This is a lace belly band with an organza bag. And it has a little rose card in it. And it was sealed. And I sealed some real rose petals that I've saved. My husband gives me roses. And I dry them. And it was heartbreaking too. One had already fallen off though, okay? One had already fallen off. And the other one was about to, so I just plucked it and I crumpled them up and I put them in here. And one was a pink rose and one was a red rose. And I love that. That is so cool. And so that's what this lady did. She took her handsome fellow's little roses and wanted to keep them forever in this little bag here. And I attached it as a belly band. If I can get this back in there. And then I made the same background paper of that speckled page here. And when you think you're going to pull out this paper, you're actually going to pull out a mini tag. Haha, tricky, yeah? I think that is so clever of myself. Anyways, you actually pull it here. So I thought that was kind of cute. Because there was enough space between the belly band, I sewed it onto this coffee dyed paper, and there's enough space there. And I thought, I'm going to trick people. When they one day come to my journal, they're going to think, what does this tab do? And it just pulls out a tag. Okay, so I love that page. That was great. This one was day 29. This is memories, and I don't remember the prompt. All of a sudden, it just escaped my memory. Oh, reveal. Oh yeah, sealed and revealed. And this is my envelope. And so I went and I used some masking tape and I drizzled some watercolor paint on there. I just had fun. I just had fun this month, you guys. And it flips open and we get our little G Kerr hinge there. And then this flips open and there, ta-da, is my rose. Ah, thank you so much, Anne. I love it. And also another little reveal is my tags here are double. There's two of them. So when you pull the top one away, watch this. This is so fun. When you pull the top one away, ta-da! Aww! Isn't that great? Reveal. Finally revealed, Sir Mr. and Sir Mrs. And I've been saving this page. This is part of a planner. I believe it's Pioneer Woman, if I'm not mistaken. And I wanted to use it somewhere, and I'm glad I got to tuck it into this page here with the pretty roses and then some more journaling space on my pocket. So I really like that page a lot. And then this day was fabric, and it's on a small page, and I was like, don't really want a fabric flip on here. So I cut out this pretty little rose on some vintage fabric, and I turned it into a tag. I did some stamping, and I made it be my tuck spot. Again, with the funky fold here. This was from Bubble Day. I was going to actually put this on Bubble, but I didn't. There's some heart stamps on here and some arrows, and it's all grungy from the coffee dyeing and baking it in the oven. And it just had a wonky fold. It got scrunched up in my bag because I've been working out of this bag. So this is the bag that I would grab from every day and find my pieces pretty much for this journal. And then I just tuck that in here. And I like that that's a bold statement. It kind of reminds us of, Bubble Day, I guess. At least me. And then day 31, I was so sad. I was almost sad. I mean, I was sad that this was over. Oh, I have a teapot. So now they're getting married. The couple are being joined together. This is a vintage image of I can't read it now. From something from a wedding. I believe it is a menu from a wedding. I know this one is. I know this is the menu for their wedding. Daniel and Martha, and that's why I could never remember their names, because I hadn't given them names. I just always called them Sir, Mr. and Mrs. or Miss. But now she's a Mrs. Look how grungy that is. It says, "This is our happily ever after," again with the tissue paper, and I struggled with this background just being coffee dyed, so I added some more paint. I went back to the Distress ink because I was down here in my craft room, and then I decided to add some gold bits because it just needed something. It just needed a little something, and this here was the last wallpaper that I had, and so I stuck it on there. And then I was like, okay, now I got to finish it off, and there they are. They're getting married. Oh, it's so cute. And then since I had that punch out from that needlepoint page from the magazine day of the circle, I wanted to use it here, but it doesn't pull out a rose. It just pulls out a T, a little T card. I just like that, and I added some gold paint to the circle there. So that is my Junk Journal January. Sorry this video is so long, but maybe you got some ideas. Maybe you're inspired. Maybe you just like looking at journals, right? So the last thing I want to do to the front of my journal here is I fussy cut out this rose, and I said I was going to add two things. Well, this paper here is pink, and it's textured, and it's just a lot of fun. So I'm just going to rip off a piece. And I want the edge here, and I'm going to put my flower on there. And I'm going to glue it down right there. Yep, sure am. Because I really want it to signify what this journal went through to get to this point. Because I almost never decorate the covers of my journals, like ever. So I'm pretty proud of myself. A lot of new fun things. Fun things this month. And February is going to be no different. Still full of fun things, but I'm not filming right now for February what I'm working on. It's a kind of a behind the scenes, we're seeing how we feel about it project. But nonetheless, I am being creative and I am doing something totally outside my comfort zone. Again, this is a year for growth, right? Focus. We're focused on growing. That's what we're doing. All right, we're growing this rose. We're going to add it here and we will be done. Faithful. And there was a rose that was called Faithful, I think, something like that. I'm going to tuck that underneath. Well, I was going to try to tuck it underneath that Bull Bunny paper, so it has a more layered effect. Ooh, woo. So fun. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.